welcome back. I had a few people request to see me pot something up in pond, and if you watched my latest care video about macrophylla, check that out if you haven't. I did say I did not quite know what I was going to do with these cuttings. I do know I want to put them back in with my bigger plant, but that plant is growing leaves and a tendril and it's winter, so I don't want to disturb it right now. But I do know I want this plant out of leca, so we're going to pot it in pond today. I'm setting up my self-wicking pot here. This is the pot I use for all my pond plants. They're very easy to find on Amazon. Just search self-wicking pot and these pop right up. And it's ready to go. It's that easy to set up. This is my pond. I do have a highlight on my Instagram all about it. If you would like to look at that, it tells you how I made my own DIY lechuza pond. I do have to fertilize it myself because the difference between this and the lechuza pond is the lechuza pond is coated with a slow release fertilizer, and obviously this one is not. But everything you need to know about this is on that highlight, all the ingredients, all that good stuff. So I'm just going to take these cuttings out of the leca. And I am left-handed, so I'm so sorry the setup doesn't really give you the best view sometimes because my left hand is my dominant hand. But I'm trying to give you the best view possible here. Seeing those roots slide out is so satisfying. And as you can see, this is a very well-rooted and very, very happy plant. I pretty much root all of my plants possible in leca. I find it to be the best rooting substrate in my opinion and in my environment. Everything roots really fast and really easy, and it's pretty low maintenance. I have very low failure rate rather of plants rotting or anything like that. It's a really easy medium, and I would love to do a video all about rooting in leca at some point, but I am just going to pull off the leca balls if they're easy to come off. If they give me a lot of resistance or I feel I'm going to tear a root, I will just leave it on there. It's really not going to hurt anything. It's going to cause more aeration, which is never a bad thing, and it's not going to hurt anything. If they come off easily, though, I go ahead and take them off. I do reboil my leca and reuse it, which is one of the great things about an inorganic medium like leca. Boil it, you're good to go for a whole other plant. But there are the roots, all free of the leca. All that leca came off really easily. Didn't take much tugging at all, and I did not lose not one root pulling off that leca. So I'm just going to arrange this and see how I most enjoy it in the pot, which way is going to bring me the most joy. I don't know if I'm the only one like this, but if I pot something up and I don't really like the way it's sitting, it will drive me nuts, and I will eventually end up repotting it simply because it's driving me crazy. I don't know if I'm the only one that's like that, but I try to make sure that I like the way it's sitting nowadays before I pot it. Save myself some headaches, save myself some time. And I'm going to go ahead and just start putting some pond in the pot. I did put a layer down. I forgot to mention that. You did see that. I did put a little bit of a layer down before I put it in the pot just to give it some height. I don't really find a lot of problems with my roots going out of the pot and into the water. These are water roots. I've never had my roots rot on me. No, I am a lazy leca and pond user. I do not check my pH. I don't even have a kit for that. I've never checked it. But I do use distilled water for all of my plants. And distilled water usually has a pretty decent pH anyway because of the process it goes through. So keep that in mind. If you're using tap water, you might not want to do what I'm doing. I do use distilled water. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill the pond in around the plant. Make it sit nice and pretty in the way I like it. And I did run a little low on the pond, so I leave and come back with a little bit more. I do rinse my pond just in tap water. Rinse it in water until it runs clear. Definitely wouldn't do it directly into your sink. I'm not going to say I haven't before because, again, I'm a lazy user, but I try not to. I try to do it into a bowl and then toss the dirty water outside because there is rock sediment and things like that you don't want going into your pipes. So just a little PSA there for you. And I'm just getting it nice and set up. I do like pond. I like pond better than I like leca for long-term maintenance. Usually when something is decently rooted, I do take it out of the leca. There's some plants I leave in leca, and I would love to go into that in further detail in a leca video if you would like to hear about that. But for the most part, I take everything out of leca once it's well rooted and I put it in pon. I have not experimented much with rooting in pon, I'm not going to lie. I found a way that I like, and I'm just kind of sticking with it. And I have the leca, so it's not a big deal. I do like my plants long term in the pond, though. I will not have to touch this plant once I put water into the reservoir for 2 weeks, up to 2 weeks. I do check my plants pretty much every other day to make sure that they do have a water reservoir, and I will top that off if it needs it. But for the most part, I don't touch my plants once they're in the pond. They can be in there, like I said, for up to 2 weeks and not need me at all. I try to fertilize bi-weekly and wash out the reservoir with some Dawn dish soap and hot water, refill the reservoir with some fertilized nutrient water, and I do use Dynagrow foliage. There's a picture of that in my pond highlight. But that's about it. It's very low maintenance, and that's why I love it so much. And this is the final result, and all done. It's really easy, it's cute to look at, and it's low maintenance. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give it a shot for yourself. Let me know if you do. Check out my highlight on pond for more information. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Thank you.